Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this introduction to Block Party number 133. Happy to be here with Marco. Marco, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. If things were any better today, it would take two of me to hold it all in.
Awesome. Awesome, Marco. So, let's jump right into the topic. And the topic I'm going to discuss is really two topics. Number one, why collective human intelligence? And then number two, assuming collective human intelligence is crucial, then, how do we do it? What's it going to take? What's it going, just at a very high level, and then we'll just take it from there. So, why collective human intelligence? So, our problems have become so extreme and so urgent, so dire, and so hyper-connected, interconnected, interwoven, and wicked that it's going to take some kind of really significantly higher form of intelligence to help us shepherd our way through this than what we're currently mustering in the current paradigm. Just simple as that, as humanity, as a species. And what are the options? Well, one is the creator come here and just say, all right, you guys are too close to the edge, or you're going over the edge. Here's my giant hand of creation, and I'm just going to recreate things. Poof, The other is that some alien intelligence come from some other star system, galaxy, universe, whatever, and come and say, listen, we've been watching you guys from afar and you've just been totally screwing everything up, so we're going to step in and fix stuff. So just sit back, relax, and we'll take it from here, or at least through the transition phase to a sustainable form of life on the planet. And then the other option is collective human intelligence, right? Those are the big three. And I am open to any of those three. I'm open to all three forms at the same time. I'm open to all the above. But the one that we have control over is collective human intelligence. So let's roll up our sleeves and frickin' get to work. Okay, so that's why collective human intelligence, because we need it. And we can't count on the others until they show up, and they may still need collective human intelligence when they show up. They may say, hey, I'm counting on you as humanity to muster up the best that you can, and that's collective human intelligence. You have all the tools to do it, so do it. So that's why. All right, any questions on that before we shift over to the second half of the talk?
I'm good.
All right. So, and we can talk about that first topic tomorrow in the block party as well. But where I think the action really resides is then saying, okay, what's it going to take to have collective human intelligence in this exponentially growing form? And I think decentralization is key, and conversations across myriad different platforms and modalities, so not just video conferencing, but Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces kinds of scenarios, even asynchronous, like Reddit, for example. So all the above, they're all conversations, right? So a decentralized universe of, we're just calling them transformational conversations, but even those can exist in a full color palette of different kinds of conversations, different characterizations of conversations. We can have compassionate conversations. We can have heavenly conversations where we're literally reaching for heaven on earth, right? We can have, Robert's Rules of Order conversations. We can have efficient conversations. We can have conversations of synthesis, concise synthesis, and on and on and on and on, different kinds. And so what we're envisioning in terms of having a decentralized universe of not only different media of conversations, like I mentioned a couple minutes ago, from Zoom to Reddit, to Facebook, to whatever else, from different media to different characterizations of, the nature of the conversation. What kind is it? And there can be, endless dimensions to conversation. Why not, right? What we're really talking about here is opening up Pandora's box of decentralized collective human intelligence distributed across myriad, tens of thousands of conversations, right? Hundreds of thousands of conversations. Why not? And why so many? Well, when you begin to break apart our mega problems and their interrelationships, there are a lot of nooks and crannies, a lot of moving parts, a lot of complexity, and we're going to need teams of people, conversations focused on so many of those. Think of how many teams had to be formed for NASA's Apollo program in the 60s, right? And here we've got a vastly more complex spaceship, a whole planet that's in severe distress. So it's going to take massive intelligence. It's going to take massive diversity in terms of topics and granularity of topics where necessary. Because chop, we got to get on this. So there's urgency like never before. So we've got to make it decentralized, spanning, and having infinite space and infinite dimensionality, space for dimensionality for, going as broad and deep as need be, so that we have, acceptable characterization and indexing of conversations, so that we can find those conversations where we really want to plug in. So basically, we need the right architecture, and we've talked about heavenly hashtags and hashtag Dutch 42 and whatnot, and we'll get into those areas as well tomorrow in the block party, as possible ways of implementing this. Anyway, so we need the decentralized and essentially infinitely expandable space, for lack of a better word, for this, essentially the Dutch universe of transformational conversations to exist and to be made discoverable. What else do we need? We need we need critical mass, right? And so what we're planning in terms of media and in terms of tours and in terms of conference and a giant conference. Ooh, it's 11/11 when I said giant conference. To kick this whole thing off, right? That's the impulse, the critical mass, where it can then take off exponentially and fan out across this, infinitely expansive space. In other words, it's not hemmed in or constrained by any one platform or any one company or anything really. And so, we talk about it as opening up Pandora's box. And another really good analogy is the Ice 9 seed crystal in Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle, where a tiny little crystal, once it lands in the ocean, it immediately solidifies the entire ocean all around the world, all the oceans. And that's how quickly it spreads. So we're talking about also, a way of looking at what it's going to take to make this successful collective human intelligence is we need to have the right starter crystalline structure. Now, I talked about architecture, and that's crucial. So it's really architecture plus critical mass impulse of, how many tens of thousands of people or whatever number is it going to take for us to really, launch this. So we're going to be talking about all facets of this during the block party. And anyway, that's all I really wanted to say about tomorrow's block party. Any comments, questions, anything, Marco?
Nothing other than to say I can't wait for Friday morning.
All right, let's get it on. Okay, looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Marco.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks everybody. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.